The business case for well-being. So right now, there's several global trends that are making well-being and this topic and even conscious leadership just more important than ever. So the first is that we are living in a global democracy in every sense of the term, meaning our voices have a lot of power, more than they ever have, because of social media, because of the internet. Everything that we're thinking, how we're feeling, can be put on loudspeaker at any moment. And therefore, any organization, if you're not caring about the well-being of your people, a disgruntled customer, a disgruntled employee, anybody has the ability to voice that in any way. So we have to be way more in tune with what people are thinking and feeling and their overall well-being. The second is millennials really want to know they matter, right? Everybody's talking about millennials, and one of the key things about millennials and millennials in the workplace is that they want to have not only a sense of purpose, but they want to feel like they are making a difference, that they are valued, that they are bringing something to the table. And it's kind of like, if not, they're shopping around, right? It's not just a matter of just getting a good job that you're going to have for the rest of your life like it used to be. It's like, I want to find something where I am valued as an individual. Also, tons of research on why well-being helps attract and retain talent, right? If you're building that type of a culture, the high performers gravitate to these kinds of work environments. And they stay in these work environments too because they feel more well-respected and like the work that they're doing is acknowledged. Another trend, obviously, is women in the workplace and that demand for flexibility, right? Understanding these different elements of well-being and just the needs of humans, obviously, is important, but these especially apply, to women in certain circumstances and understanding their needs for family and motherhood. Obviously, health and wellness is just on the rise, so just in terms of physical health and focusing on that aspect of well-being. And in general, I don't know about you guys, I think I've been noticing just people in general just looking for more of a sense of purpose in everything. I think there is just a rise of spirituality and people kind of going beyond the confines of religion, as Deepak said, to something bigger. And then, stop my clicker again. And then the last is the new financial perspective. There's been something called the new normal ever since 2008 after the stock market crash, that people did take on kind of a different type of financial perspective, looking to not just spend money as frivolously as before, but really looking to spend it more wisely and on things that matter. So this is the business case for well-being. So as I go through these stats, these are based on people who are considered to be thriving in the workplace. Okay, so like when I say they have 41% fewer unhealthy days. What that means is that people who rate themselves as being as thriving, meaning they're high in those 5 areas that we discussed earlier, that group of people have 41% fewer health days. Make sense? No, it's after lunch, so. They have 65% less. They are 65% less likely to be involved in a workplace accident. Right? And depending on the type of work environment you have, there might be more accidents in, say, construction than there are in a more typical corporate setting. They're 39% less likely to be diagnosed with a new disease, 43% less likely to be newly diagnosed with anxiety or depression. This is all inside of the workplace, right? So obviously health-related costs go down. But it drives me crazy when the wellness conversation just becomes about decreasing health costs, right? This isn't a benefits conversation. This isn't just meant for human resources. On the flip side, productivity increases, right? So people who have high well-being and who are thriving are more likely to be agile and resilient. They're more resistant to major organizational changes or disruptions in their personal lives. Disruption in their personal life doesn't throw them off. And they're 13% more likely to report excellent performance. So think about this, right? If you're able to teach the people of your organization how to live better lives, you're building a stronger human being that is going to be less swayed when there's a merger and acquisition that's happening within the organization, or there's some other change, because they have their stuff together, right? Turnover decreases. They're 32% more likely to stay with the company, and the cost of turnover per person is also lower. And customers are happy. I like this one because this kind of shows how it's transcending past just the employees, right? It extends on out. So customers of the work groups with high engagement and well-being were 24% more likely to say that the company resolved their problems, and 20% more likely to say the company delivers on their promises. Now, you have to think of if a work group has a high well-being, right, there's something about that person that probably can come up with solutions more quickly on the spot for that customer, just because they have a different way about them, right? Like their life is like more in check and in order. And as a result, then the customer is benefiting from that. And like we were saying before about emotions being contagious, this is proven that thriving individuals are 20% more likely to have thriving team members. And direct reports of thriving managers or supervisors were 15% more likely to be thriving as well, right? So you start learning well-being for yourself. Even before you even start to implement anything in the organization, things start to change just by virtue of you making those changes in your life. And then if you think about it, you know, then Sally starts making improvements, and Greg, and then there's a ripple effect by having more people within one group that are all working towards the same goal. Okay.